Good morning students. I hope you all understand my previous videos. So today I am going to discuss about fertilization. Okay. The fertilization, as the title slide indicates the how the fertilization takes place in the plants. Okay. This is the androecium part of the plant and this is the gynoecium part of the plant. Okay. So this slide will explain you shortly how the fertilization takes place in plants. The stamen, this is a stamen and stamen consists of filament and anther. We have studied already. Okay, it just recapping. Okay, recalling you on this filament which is attached with the anther. Anther is producing a more pollen grains. Yes, it's dehisced and releasing the pollen grains. And these anther also called microsporangium. Likewise, if you see in the ovary gynoecium, this is the ovary and this is the placenta. That is, this is the ovule which is attached with the placenta. Okay, with the help of placenta only, ovule attached in the ovary. Okay, and style and stigma. This long elongated part is style and this end port of the gynoecium is called the stigma. Okay, so this is the floral axis and petals, corolla, that is corolla. This is the yellowish part is corolla. Next to that hole is, that is corollas. Next to that is calyx. Yes, definition of fertilization. You know that you could have studied in the zoology also, the fusion of male and female gamete is called fertilization. Okay, this fertilization in angiosperm is double fertilization type. Okay, you may ask the question, what is the double fertilization type? So double fertilization type is nothing but, here the two types of fertilization going to take place. Okay, one fertilization for the zygote formation, one fertilization for the endosperm formation. You may ask the question, what is endosperm? Yes, endosperm is, it is nutriting tissue for the growing embryo in the seed. Okay, so one fertilization for the production of zygote, one fertilization for the production of endosperm. What is the endosperm? Today we will discuss. Okay. Next I am coming to the events of double fertilization. What will be happen actually? So the germination of pollen to form pollen tube in the stigma. Yes. In the last video I had explained you how the stigma with the pollen, how the pollen is become germinated when it reaches the right stigma. Okay. So once the germination of pollen to form the pollen tube in the stigma, when it is causes the germination when it reaches the right stigma, and next to that it is from the stigma to style, it is travels towards the ovule through the micropyle end. So if you are taking a ovule structure, there is a two ends. One is a Jalsal end, another one is in the micropyle end. Through the micropyle end only our pollen tubes is reaches. Okay. So next, entry of the pollen tube into the one of the synergids of the embryo sac discharge of the male gamete, that is called syngamy and triple fusion. Yes, this pollen tube which is get germinated on the stigma, then it is travel to the style, then it is coming to the ovule through the micropylar end. Inside the ovule you will be having embryo sac, nucellar tissue, cell sac part, so many parts is there. In that the embryo sac consists of two synergids, two antipodal cells and polar nuclei is there. Okay, in that embryo sac synergids, in two synergids is there. In that one synergid, through the one synergid it reaches and it produces the syngamy, that is it produces the zygote, that is here one male gamete and one female cell is causing the syngamy, that is fertilization 1. This is a fertilization 1. Next to that there is one more male gamete, because here discharge of male gametes is there. So discharge of two male gametes is there. One male gamete is united with the embryo sac and producing zygote called syngamy. and one more male gametophyte, that is go and react with the polar nuclei and the polar nuclei of the ovule. So that is producing a triple fusion. Why it is called triple fusion means the polar nuclei is two types is there. Okay, if you see this is a two nuclei. So these two nuclei plus one male gametophyte. So three nuclei plus one male gametophyte. Three structures are together fusing here, so that it is called a triple fusion. So triple fusion means endospore formation. This is a futuristic endosperm formation by the triple fusion. Okay, in case of if you are taking the zygote formation, the zygote formation is done by here the female gametophyte is there. Okay, and this is here synergids. In this synergids, the one is coming and uniting and forming the zygote, that is zygami. So the pollen get germinated here and it is traveled to the style of the ovary, and in this again it is traveled to the ovule through the micropylar end. In the micropylar end, if you see the micropylar end, it is entered through one of the synergids and it is get fused with the female gametophyte, producing the fertilization, that is called zygote or the syngami, and the one more male gamete that is united with the two polar nuclei, producing the triple fusion. Okay, so this is it is a dynamic process, involves the recognition of pollen and to the promote or inhibition of its germination and growth. Yes, so the stigma will decide at whether this pollen is correct or right for this particular fertilization or not. That will be decided by the stigma. So hence it is called dynamic process. The stigma, germination of pollens on the stigma is dynamic process. Whether it is correct, whether it is not correct for this fertilization, that will be recognized by the our stigma. How it is recognized, that is a question, right? So the stigma will produce as, usually the stigma will produce as, receives the pollen, and this stigma will produce as the two types of stigma. Stigmatic fluid called wet stigma, pellicle in dry stigma. Wet stigma and pellicule called dry stigma. So two types of stigma is there. Okay, this stigmatic fluid will decide the incompatibility and compatibility of the pollen through the recognition rejection protein reaction. Yes, this stigmatic fluid only, yes, it is a correct, it is not correct. That compatibility, correct means yes, it can do it can furtherly, it can go for the fertilization process is called compatibility, but it does not go to the fertilization, that is called incompatibility. So that similar, non-similar is called, similar meaning is compatibility and non-similar is incompatibility. So this compatibility, incompatibility will be done by the stigmatic fluid through the recognition rejection protein reaction. What is the reaction that causing whether it is allow for the fertilization, is whether it is not allowing for the fertilization, will be done by this recognition rejection protein reaction. Okay, the sexual incompatibility in different species. Okay, so there are different species of the plants is there. Okay, so this sexual incompatibility in different species, that is interspecific and intraspecific. What is interspecific means? Suppose you are taking one lotus plant, one hibiscus plant. Okay, so definitely there will be a incompatibility reaction will be there. So the lotus will be coming under the one particular family, and this hibiscus coming under in the Malvaceae family. So these two are their different family. So these are interspecific incompatibility reaction. If you are taking an intraspecific means, suppose you are taking a Rosaceae family. In the rose there is a different type of variety species is there. That is like you can see in the different varieties of the roses. In between that varieties there is an incompatibility reactions that will be determined by the stigmatic fluid. Next, I am coming to the during the germination of pollen, its entire contents is, yes, once it is germinated. Okay, so this pollen get germinated and it is traveled through the style and it reaches there. Okay, while it is during the germination of pollen in the entire contents. Once it is germinated, pollen tube is formed and it is coming and it is reaching to the ovule through the micropyle or end, and it is all the cytoplasmic contents we have studied in the microspore in the development of male gametophyte lesson. So in the topic we have studied about the pollen tube consists of two male gametes and two cells is there, two types of cells in that. One is in the vegetative cell, generative cell, cytoplasm, vacuole, so many things are there. So all the cytoplasmic content will be moved to the tip of the region. Okay, when it is germinated, so it is moving to the tip of the pollen tube. So the remaining part is occupied by the vacuole cut off from the tip by the callus plaque. So the remaining part is called callus plaque. When you are viewed under the microscopic structure, this is showing you a cap plaque. Okay, so this pollen tubes is disappears when the growth is stops. Okay, these structures that all the scaloplaques, cap plaque will be disappears after the growth of pollen tube stops. So this is the way of the double fertilization, and this is the pathway entry of the pollen tube germinated on the stigma, and it is traveled through the style and it reaches the ovule through the micropylar end, and it releases the male gametophyte and other cytoplasmic contents. Next, I am coming to the pollen tube in the style. If you are seeing the pollen tube in the style, there is three types of style you can see in the plants. That is hollow style, solid style, semi-solid style. If you are focus on the hollow style, that is called open style. One more name of the hollow style is open style. It is common in the monocot plants and hollow canal running from the stigma. If you are taking the stigma of a hollow style, there is an hollow canal. Hollow canal in Tamil ஒரு வெற்றிடம் மாதிரி இருக்கும். Okay, வெறும் ஓப்பனிங்காக இருக்கும் அந்த கெனால்னா இட்ஸ் லைக் ஓப்பனிங், இட்ஸ் லைக் பைப், ஒரு சின்ன பைப் மாதிரி உள்ளே இருக்கும். Okay, so that stigma to the base of the style is lined by a single layer. Yes, அந்த ஸ்டிக்மா வந்து ஹாலோ கேனலாக இருக்கும். சென்டரில் பார்த்தா ஃபுல்லாக ஒரு டியூப் மாதிரி ஓப்பனிங்காக இருக்கும். இட்ஸ் லேயர், இட்ஸ் வால், இட்ஸ் லைன்டு பை, okay, so it's lined by the layer of glandular canal cells. I already explained you in the last year. Glandular cells means it is going to secrete something. Okay, so that is glandular canal cells. Okay, it is also called transmitting tissue. All the style consisting of the cells and tissues is called the transmitting tissues. Why it is called transmitting tissue? It is going to transmit something. What it is going to transmit something? It is going to transmit the pollen from the stigma to the ovary. So it is act as the transmitting tissue. That is very important word. Next, secreting mucilaginous substances. I already told there is a glandular cells that lining the hollow canal of the style. So what is that mucilaginous substances? That is nothing but the pollen tube grows on the surface of the cells lining the stylar canal. The canal is filled with the secretions, nutrition for the growing pollen tube, and also it is controlling the incompatibility reaction. Yes, so this secretion helpful mainly for the growth of the pollen tube, and also it's controlling the incompatibility reaction. If there any incompatibility which is not suit for the ovule for this particular pollen, so that will be controlled by, so it is also controlling the incompatibility reaction, and also it is nutriting the pollen. Okay, that's about your hollow style. If you are seeing the closed style or the solid style, this is common in the monocot, this is common in the dicot. Yes, this is consisting of central core of elongated highly specialized cell. If you are seeing the solid type or the closed type of style, will shows the transmitting tissue. Here also transmitting tissue, but the transmitting tissue consists of glandular canal cells. But if you are seeing here, the transmitting tissue of the closed type is highly specialized cells. Highly specialized cells means the same function of the hollow canal only, but nothing differences. Okay, and it is also helping the pollen tubes to grow, and it is nutriting the pollen tube. How the pollen tube is moving here? It is moving through the intercellular space. There is a highly specialized cells is there in the solid type of style. In that highly specialized type of cells, in between the gap is there. Through that gap only this pollen tubes is moves. Okay. So how this is about a solid style. Next, semi-solid style. This is the same related to this solid style and hollow style. This is a in between. It is half closed type, and this is a difference opinion on the nature of the transmitting tissue. So semi-solid style is almost, it is having the characteristic of both hollow style and solid style. And some authors telling that solid style while the others telling that it is hollow style. So different authors having different opinion on the semi-solid style of type of the styles. So entry of pollen tube into the ovule. So just now, still now we have gone through the double fertilization. What is how the pollen germinated on the stigma, how the pollen tube is traveling in the style, how the pollen tube is reaching the ovule. If it is reaching through the chalcalane, it is called chalcagamy. If it is reaching through the when the pollen tube is reaching through the integment, it is called mesogamy. So chalcagamy, mesogamy is there. And one more type, entry of the pollen tube into the embryo sac is enters the embryo sac. So after reaching of the ovule, inside the ovule you will be having embryo sac. That enters the embryo sac at the micropylarene. It is enters through the micropylarene. The pollen enters into the embryo sac directly into the one of the synergids. Yes, we have seen already it is in the first slide itself. The pollen tube towards the ovary, ovule, embryo sac due to the presence of chemotropic substance. How it is reaches particularly to the ovary, ovule, embryo sac. Presence of chemotropic substances. The pollen tube, after travelling the whole length of the style, enters into the ovary locule that is guarded by a ovule, which is guarded by the obturator. What is called obturator? Yes, the pollen tube. Finally, it is entered into the ovule through the ovary. When it is entered into the ovule, that is guarded by, that is covered by or protected by the two things. One structure that is called the structure which is presenting at the entry of the ovule where the pollen tube entered. So that particular place, that particular structure is called obturator. A pore is formed in the pollen tube wall apex or the just behind the apex. If you are taking the apex, that is the last part, that is Tamil nuni part and the pollen tube nuni part layo illa adukku konjam munnadiye oru pore open agi all the two male gametes and vegetative nucleus, cytoplasm, everything discharged into the synergids. Synergids of the embryo sac இருக்க அந்த ovule இருக்க synergidsல போயிட்டு அது என்ன ஆகுது, ரிலீஸ் ஆகுது. So the pollen tube does not grow behind it. அதுக்கப்புறம் pollen tube it will not be grow. Okay, in the embryo sac the tube nucleus is disorganized. So tubeல இருக்க nucleus வந்து disorganize ஆயிட்டு next என்ன process நடக்கும், next the fertilization process will be takes place. Next, what is the double fertilization? Double fertilization means since both the male gametes are involved in the fertilization, the phenomenon is called double fertilization, the unique in the angiosperm. This is very unique characteristics of the angiosperm. So if you are seeing this, this is ovule, this is a chalacel, this is a funiculus, this is chalacellin, this is an the antipodal cell, secondary nucleus, all those things is there. So here you see here two male gametes is there. One male gamete that is go and react with the female gametophyte in the embryo sac so that it is producing a NN2N, that is haploid diploid zygote. Okay, so this is become as an zygote is become as an embryo. Okay, so if you are seeing the secondary nucleus, what is called secondary nucleus? Two polar nuclei of the ovule is united and become a secondary nucleus just before the fertilization. I already told you in the structure of the ovule chapter. Okay, so again once again I am repeating here. Here the two polar nuclei united and to getting a secondary nuclei. That secondary nuclei again it is united with the male nuclei. Already it is two nuclei is there. One haploid. So two haploid again it is fused with the male nuclei. So there is a 3N, that is 3 haploid. So this is a, you should not say 3 haploid, that is a triploid or the triple fusion. So the triple fusion is formed by two secondary nucleus that is formed by the polar nucleus of the ovule. These two nucleus united, polar nuclei united to form a secondary nucleus just before the fertilization, and it is fused with the one more male nuclei of the pollen tube and forming the endosperm. So this is become an endosperm and this is become an embryo. This embryo will be nutrited by the endosperm. These are all the things that is presenting inside the seed. Okay. So this is what I mentioned here. The primary endosperm nucleus, since involves the fusion of 3 nuclei, this phenomenon is called triple fusion. Next, I'm coming to the post-fertilization structures and events. After the fertilization, what all the structures and events will be takes place? The same thing. The endosperm, endosperm development, embryo development, formation of seed, fruits, everything takes place. This is called post-fertilization structures. This is your textbook diagram only. So this is your same diagram. So how the flower, the calyx and corolla part and all, which is get wither, and it will be fall down, and these are all the if you are seeing the seed consisting of embryo, and embryo is surrounded by the endosperm is used to nutriting the embryo, because the embryo will become as an plant again, so it should be nutrited by the endosperm, that is produced by triple fusion. Okay, then these are all the thing is coming as and they are, so shriveling and petals and sepals takes place. This is just overall explanation of the post-fertilization structures. So next I am coming to the endosperm nucleus. The primary endosperm nucleus provided into a fertilization. This endosperm, again there are 3 types is there. Okay. So 3 numbers of the chromosome. If you are seeing the endosperm of the angiosperm will be 3n, because it is consisting of 2 polar nuclei with 1 male gametophyte. So it is a 3n number of the chromosome, or the triploid chromosome is seen in the angiosperm, which is very important question. And there are 3 types of endosperm: nuclear endosperm, cellular endosperm. So nuclear endosperm means this is a nuclear endosperm, and this is a cellular endosperm, and this is the allobial endosperm. Okay, the nuclear endosperm, the primary endosperm nucleus is divided into 2, and it is divided into like a without the dividing so many nucleus without the cell wall formation. Example, Coccinea, Capsella and Arachis. And cellular endosperm, primary endosperm nucleus divided into 2 nuclei, and it is immediately followed by the wall formation, and subsequent divisions allows the follow cell wall formation. Example, Adoxa, Helianthus and Scoparia. Okay, so this is cellular. So cellular means this nucleus only here, nuclear only divided from the one endosperm nuclei. Here the one primary endosperm nuclei is divided into many nuclei, and it is followed by the many cell wall formation, and that is cellular nuclei. If you are seeing the allobial, that is primary endosperm nucleus moves towards the base of the micropylar end. Okay, so move to the chalosal end. Okay, so this is micropylar end and this is a chalosal end. So the cell wall formation takes place at the only the chalosal end. Okay, this is about your allobial endosperm. So in the chalosal end only the cell wall formation takes place in the allobial endosperm. What is called ruminant endosperm? So this is again, the endosperm may be either completely consumed by the developing embryo, or it persists in the mature sheath. Sometimes the developing embryo will consume fully the endosperm when it is growing. Sometimes it is persists, still it is not consumed by the seeds. It is sometimes it is may persistent in the mature seeds. That is example, seed without the endosperms you can see called non-endosperms or the ex-albuminous, because the endosperms is made up of the albuminous. So if it is the fruit, it is not without the seed, which is not with the endosperm or the ex-albuminous seed. Example, pea, groundnut, peas. But the seed with the endosperm are called endospermous or the albuminous seeds. That is example. That is the endosperm in these seeds supply the nutrients in the embryo during the seed germination. That is example, paddy, coconut and castor. The ruminant endosperm means the endosperm which is not developed furtherly. It is there is an irregularity, unevenness in the surface of the ruminant endosperm. Means the endosperm is there, but it is not well developed. It is incompletely developed, is called ruminant endosperm. Ruminant means incomplete in the development is called ruminant. Example, Arachia cachu, Passiflora and Mystrichia. Example, Arachia cachu means that is our இது பாக்கு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, வெத்தலை பாக்கில் வைக்கிற அந்த பாக்குக்கு தான் என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, அரிகா காச்சு. தட் இஸ் கம்ஸ் அண்டர் இந்த டைப் ஆஃப் த ruminant endosperm. அதில் இருக்க எண்டோஸ்போம் வந்து இன்கம்ப்ளீட்டடாக இருக்கும். அதுதான் functions of it is a nutritive tissue for developing embryo and it is a majority of the angiosperm and zygotes divide only after the endosperm. Yes, once the endosperm is produced before the fertilization, after that only the zygote is produced. Endosperm regulates the precise mode of embryo development. So the dicot embryo means that is nothing but embryo develops at a micropylar end of the embryo sac. So where is that? It is produced, it is developed at the micropylar end, and zygote undergoes the transverse division to form a terminal cell or the lower base cells. Okay, if you are seeing the zygote, there is in the zygote in the embryo, first it will be in the globular shape, next it will be in the heart shape, next it will be reaching the mature stage. So the mature embryo consisting of radicle is become as a future root of the plant, and the two cotyledon means that is seeds, and the plumule is coming as an in future it is coming as a stem. Okay, this is the zygote. How it is? It is become a two-celled pro-embryo. Then it has become a four-celled embryo. Then this is a globular structure, embryonal mass, hypophysis, suspension. So if you are taking in the next stage, heart-shaped embryonal structure. This is a mature embryo, and mature embryo in the seed. From the seed you will be having a cotyledon. This plumule part is coming as a future plant stem. The radicle is coming as a future plant root, and root is covered by root cap. So hope you all understand my video. Thank you.